Pop quiz, that's right. Let's see if you know this knowledge when it comes to passing your CDL written test. Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy. In today's video, we're going to give you the questions and answers for the passenger endorsement written test. So if you're looking to get a CDL Class B license with a passenger endorsement, you're definitely going to have to know the questions and answers here. Or if you're just looking to drive a bus, anything like this that you're transporting passengers, this is going to be a required test that you have to take for the permit process. Now, in order to actually get your CDL license, there's a quick two-step process. Step number one, have to pass a few written exams. For the CDL Class B with passenger endorsement, you need to pass general knowledge, air brakes, passenger endorsement that we're going to be going over today. And then after you get that, then you're going to have to actually pass the CDL road test itself. So if you want to come to the best CDL school in the country, check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com, and find a location near you, and we can actually help you get your Class B with passenger endorsement. Or if you already have your Class A and you want to add the passenger endorsement to it, this test will actually help you out as well with that. So without any further ado, let's get right into the questions and answers for the passenger endorsement written test. Alright, so this question is going to ask this. How many seats can be placed in the aisle if the bus is a charter and is carrying agricultural farm workers? A is going to be 0, B is going to be 8, C will be 6, and D will be 4. The correct answer here is going to be 8. So what does this actually mean? This means that if you're transporting a bus to a farm, right? So maybe you're picking up the workers outside the farm, you're transporting them to the farm itself. According to this rule, you can put up to 8 seats in the aisle. So like you can get folding chairs, literally put it in the aisle, and they don't need seat belts itself, and you're good to go because you're transporting to a farm. This is a special question that definitely is going to come up on your test. All right, so the next question is going to be, when is it recommended that you wear a seatbelt? A, never. B, only at the speed in excess of 25 miles per hour. C, always. Or D, only when traveling on the interstate highways or turnpikes. So if this one you don't know the answer to, you have bigger problems. It probably means you don't even have a driver's license, but the answer here is C, always wear your seatbelt. By law, a fun fact is, anytime that you actually get onto the actual road itself, you're going to need a seatbelt. If you're on private property, technically you do not need a seatbelt. So when it comes to the actual CDL road test and you're doing the parking maneuvers section of the road test itself, you are not required to actually put on a seatbelt because you are not on any public roads, as a fun fact. Alright, so the next question is going to be, the standee line is a place where passengers wait for the bus to arrive. B, a location in the bus terminal where the passengers purchase their tickets. C, a line in the center of the aisle directing passengers to available seats. Or D, a 2-inch line at the front of the bus indicating that no passenger may stand in front of it. The correct answer here is going to be D. This is going to be one of the things that we used to check for in the actual old CDL road test in-cab inspection piece, where you're going to have to say no passengers may stand in front of the standee line, and that's going to be for your safety as a bus driver. Alright, the next question. Recap tires are permitted on steering axle tires provided A, they have at least 4 30-seconds of tread depth. B, they have at least 2 30-seconds of tread depth. C, they have passed a safety inspection. Or D, never. So this one might be tricky here, because if you're studying the book itself, it's going to say steering axle tires have to have 4 30-seconds of an inch of tread depth. But the main thing here is going to be recap tires. Recap tires are never, and I repeat, never, so the correct answer here is D, permitted on the front steering axle tires. And what recap tires means is you're going to have the tire itself, and that top piece where the tread is, they can actually, when that tread is worn out, they can actually put a new piece of tread on top of there, so the tire itself is the same, but they'll glue a new piece of tread on top. The reason why it's not good for the steering axle tires is steering axle tires are the ones that move right and left all the time, which means that glue can kind of come apart, and that means the tread can actually fall off the tire, which is not a good thing to do. So the correct answer here is going to be D. Alright, the next question is going to be, all of the following are required during a pre-trip inspection except A, check handholds and rails to see if secure. B, check cylinder wall thickness. C, emergency exit handles are secure. D, check to see if the turn signals and brake lights are operating properly. The correct answer here is going to be B, check the cylinder wall thickness. This is not part of any inspection that you have to do. That's going to be more of a mechanic issue if that is an issue itself. And the main thing you have to understand here is the pre-trip is going to be super important when it comes to the actual CDL road test. And most people who do fail the test fail on the pre-trip inspection. That's why you want to come to the best CDL school in the country here at Driving Academy. All right, so the next question. When stopping at a railroad crossing, you must stop A, no closer than 15 feet, no further than 50 feet. B, no closer than 20 feet, no further than 60 feet. C, no closer than 25 feet, no further than 50 feet. Or D, no closer than 10 feet, no further than 15 feet. The correct answer here is going to be A, in between 15 and 50 feet itself is going to be the actual distance that you want to do. There's no real explanation behind it. It's just something you have to memorize. All right, next question. Which of the following is true about refueling your bus? A, you must refuel with all windows fully open. B, never refuel with passengers on board. C, always use a static cable. Or D, never refuel with passengers on board when in a closed building. So you might be in between like B and D. The correct answer here is going to be D, never refuel with passengers on board when in a closed building. You can refuel with passengers on board if you're just in an open area, say you're taking a long road trip, you're kind of going over to the gas station itself, maybe a truck stop. If the passengers want to stay on board, they definitely can while you are refueling the bus. As long as you're not in a closed building, you're good to go. So the next question is going to be, which of the following hazardous materials are you permitted to transport? Especially in a bus, right? So it's going to be A, class 2 poisons, B, small arms ammunitions, C, tear gas, or D, 1,000 pounds of organic peroxide. The correct answer here is going to be B. This is something that you just have to memorize. All right, so now the next question is going to be, you are approaching a drawbridge and no signal device or attendant is present. You must A, stop at least 50 feet before the drawbridge. B, stop no closer than 75 feet before the drawbridge. C, not stop as this might cause an accident. Or D, speed up and cross quickly before the drawbridge is raised. The correct answer here is going to be A, stop at least 50 feet before the drawbridge itself. The main thing that you have to understand here is, especially if you don't see it, you don't want to be like halfway through the drawbridge. And one of those drawbridges is like a bridge that kind of lifts up and lets the boats kind of go by through. You want to make sure you're stopping before you actually go through the drawbridge itself to make sure everything is safe to go. Next question. If you must discharge an unruly or disruptive passenger, you should A, stop immediately and discharge a passenger. B, attempt to offer counseling to him or her before discharging him from the bus. C, choose the location where it's most inconvenient for him. Or D, choose a location that is safe and well lit. So if this guy is really pissing you off and you're driving a bus, you're probably going to want to pick C. But you should do D, which is going to be choose a location that is safe and well lit. Because at the end of the day, he can piss you off or she can piss you off a whole lot. But if you hear later on that you put them in a sketchy part of the neighborhood or something like that, and something happened to them, you probably wouldn't feel good with yourself. So just be the right person. Do unto others as you want to be done to you. All right, so now the next question is going to be, passengers may carry gasoline onto the bus. A, if it's in an approved container and securely sealed. B, never. C, only in a case of emergencies. Or D, if you secure the gasoline container immediately behind the driver's seat. So the correct answer here is going to be B, never. So in a real world situation, this might be somebody who's like, okay, you're driving in a city environment, you're picking up passengers in your bus, somebody's car ran out of gas, they have to walk to the gas station and they want to take the bus back to their car itself. You are not allowed for them to actually bring the gas onto the bus itself. That is completely illegal. So watch out for your other passengers. All right, next question. Which of the following emergency equipment is required on the bus? A, first aid kit, tire chains, and tire changing equipment. B, fire extinguisher, tire chains, and first aid equipment. C, fire extinguisher, 3 reflective triangles, spare electrical fuses, unless the bus is equipped with a circuit breaker. Or D, fire extinguisher, accident report kit, and 3 reflective triangles. The correct answer here is going to be C. No matter what type of CDO vehicle you actually operate, you're always going to need those 3 things, which is going to be fire extinguisher, 3 reflective triangles, and spare safety fuses. All right, next question. Speed limits on curves are standardized for A, automobiles or cars, B, buses, C, tractor trailers, or D, small straight trucks? The correct answer here is going to be A, cars. So anytime you see a posted speed limit going on a curve, usually if you're driving a bus or a bigger tractor trailer, you should be going slower than that actual speed limit because that is built for cars specifically. Alright, so next question. If your bus is not carrying farm workers, how many aisle seats are you permitted? A is going to be 4, B is going to be 8, C is going to be 12, and D is going to be 0. The correct answer here is going to be 0. So if you are transporting farm workers to an actual farm, the correct answer would have been 8, but since there are no farm workers and you're not transporting to a farm, the correct answer here is 0. Next question, which of the following hazardous materials are you permitted to transport? A, emergency shipment of drugs, B, emergency shipment of hospital supplies, C, small arms ammunition, or D, all the above. In this case, it's going to be D, all the above. Next question, you're driving at night and you must dim your headlights from high to low. What should you do with your speed? A, slow down, B, speed up, C, drop 5 miles an hour until your eyes adjust, or D, nothing. How well you should see should not expect speed itself. The correct answer here is going to be slow down. Now, why is that the correct answer? If you're going from high beams to low beams, that means you get to see less of the road in front of you. And the whole idea of actually driving safe is to make sure that you're able to stop in a safe distance. So if you can't see far enough away from you, you want to be able to slow down the vehicle so in case you do have to stop in an emergency case, you can stop very, very easily. All right, next question. Which of these should be considered a hazard? A, an ice cream truck. B, a blind intersection. C, a driver signaling a turn. Or D, all of the above. The correct answer here is all the above. A quick test trick, about 80% of the time you see all the above, that is most likely the right answer, but make sure you read the question, don't just kind of skim through it and click all the above itself, because they could trick you. All right, the next question is going to be, you're driving a 40-foot bus at 45 miles an hour. The road is dry and visibility is good. You should keep a safe distance in front of your bus that is at least how many seconds? It's going to be A, 8, B, 7, C is 5, and D is 3. So the correct answer here is going to be 5. So why should you have 5 seconds of following distance? Well, the way the rules work are, a 40-foot bus, that means it's 1 second per every 10 feet. So because you're driving a 40-foot bus, that's going to be 4 seconds just like that. And then the other rule is if you're going faster than 40 miles an hour, you want to add 1 second to the overall distance itself. So 40-foot bus, that gives you 4 seconds, plus you're going 45 miles an hour, so that means you have to add an extra second, so 4 plus 1 is, boom, 5, and that is the correct answer, C. All right, next question. When should you check your mirrors for a lane change? Before and after signaling a change, right after starting the lane change is B, C, after completing the lane change, or D, all the above. Here we go again, the correct answer is all the above. The right way to check mirrors is almost act like a lifeguard. You know how lifeguards in the pool are always kind of shifting their head? That's what you should be doing in the actual mirror section itself. All right, and now the next and last question is going to be, which of these will result in the best control on curves? A, brake all the way through the curve. B, slow down to a safe speed before entering curves, then accelerate slightly through the curves. C, speed up slightly before the curves, then keep speed consistent through the curves. Or D, slow to a safe speed before entering a curve, then coast through them. The correct answer here is going to be B, slow to a safe speed before entering the curve, then accelerate slightly through the curve. The reason why we want to do that is when we're accelerating, you're actually catching more a grip onto the road itself, so you actually have more control. Versus just coasting through the curve, then it's very hard to kind of get control when you need to get control. And you're always engaging the gas, just in case you have to swerve one way or the other, you are good to go. So that's pretty much the 20 questions that we gave you for the passenger questions and answers when it comes to the CDL road test itself. So these are 20 questions that we gave you for questions and answers for the passenger written exam for the passenger CDL endorsement. Now, the thing that you have to understand about this test or any other written test itself is going to be you need at least 80% or higher in order to pass this test. And the main thing when it comes to the written test at the DMV is there's going to be multiple choice, just like I read out to you. There's going to be some questions on this video that are going to show up exactly on the test how it is. There's going to be other questions that are not on this video, and there's going to be some questions that they kind of change, where they say the word accept or not and things like that. And make sure you read everything that you need to read. One of the tricks of the trade is going to be, the one thing you have to understand, there's a skip button there. So if you're reading the question and you read all the answers and you're not 100% sure on which answer to actually answer correctly, at that point click the skip button. It's then going to move to the back of that actual queue of questions, and by the time you actually get to that question again, you might not even have to answer that question, because once you get 80% or better, you're good to go. So I hope that you actually enjoyed this video itself. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel so we can actually get in front of more people just like you who want to get their passenger endorsement on their CDL license and pass the written test with the questions and answers that we just went over. If you're looking to come to the best CDL school in the country, I invite you to check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com. Find a location near you. We have new locations opening up almost every single month now. So make sure you keep checking in if you don't see a location near you yet. And if you don't, you can contact our Linden office at 908-525-3609. Thanks, and I'll see you soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to get your CDL license, you know where to go. Check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com, right over there. And if you like this video, you'll definitely like this video right over here. So make sure you check that out. But before anything else, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you soon.